Welcome to the Average Nobodies Podcast, episode 82. I'm Matt.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm Adam.
Not much, guys. How's it going? You know, a lot happening the last week.
Exact same fucking thing that's happening last week. A lot of nothing.
Exact same thing.
I'm gonna need a new couch after all this is done. I think I've literally worn out the springs of the section. I had to start thinking about where I'm gonna sit on the couch, like, to even it out, because the wear is just
You gotta share the wealth.
the wear is just gonna be on the center of that couch, and it just smells like my ass, and that's it. That's just what's going on in my house. That's about it.
Love the shirt, Matt.
Thank you. Oh yeah.
I've been binging shows nonstop. Shows, movies, watching a lot of stuff, and my dogs are putting a beating on our couch. So, well, one in particular, but
The new one.
yeah, yep.
Stevie baby.
She's a puppy.
I just love that you're home. It's perfect time to have a puppy.
They do. I think she's gonna have some type of mental breakdown when we go back to work. She's not gonna handle it well.
It's the dogs are used to you being away, and they love it when you're home. It's gonna be the opposite.
Right. Yeah, the one day we both were out of the house at the same time for the full day, we came home and her bed was just shredded in 1,000 pieces, and there was surprises all over the place for us. So that wasn't great, but that was a couple weeks ago. So hopefully she's improved.
Hey, you can always bring her to the daycare.
Yeah, it's true. She did have a day at the daycare. She had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna do some. What are we watching today? We're gonna do some light news, and then we're gonna get into talking about High Life, the Robert Pattinson movie. That
Very uplifting.
what a movie to pick.
I didn't. I'm in a big Pattinson phase right now.
All right. Well, let's start right at the top. Ryan, what have you been watching?
So I watched, and this isn't the order I put it in, but I loved Extraction on Netflix with Chris Hemsworth. I thought it was fantastic. Like, it was one of the better action movies I've seen in quite a while. It just was so well done, and like it had a little bit of like drama in it, made him super easy to root for, which I think is the key to any good action movie. Like those Rambos and all that. Like, you need a good, like a really crappy enemy. And then that makes the good guy, you root for him that much more. And they did a really good job with that. Like, the bad people in this movie were super easy to hate. He was easy to love. I thought it was a fantastic movie. Highly recommend Extraction.
Who were some of the bad guys like you were rooting against?
Like the actors, or just like the...
Yeah, were there any like noteworthy actors that like you see in every movie? They're like, oh yeah, you love to hate that guy.
No, so it takes place in I think it's India, I believe it's India. So like the main bad guy is just like this huge drug lord who has like the police in his pocket and everything. But like his number one henchman is one of the weirdest looking people I've ever seen. He's like this super dark like Indian man, so he's got like that complexion with like kind of like a Kenny Powers mullet, and he's probably like 260 pounds. He's just got a really fat face. He's just one of the weirdest people I've ever seen on screen. And he's just like, he has one scene at the beginning where he just does something very terrible, and then it's like, all right, boom, the lines are drawn super easy. You know where you should be going, where your where your morals should be. So I can't recommend it enough. It was really, really good. And then I watched The Lighthouse too. Another Robert Pattinson classic. Which Adam, after talking to Adam about it, I liked it a little bit more, but I was so lost the whole time watching that movie. It's bizarre. The acting is really good, but it's out there.
Yeah. So, Matt, have you seen it yet, or do you intend on seeing it?
But I do intend on seeing it. I had it loaded up, but I just I watched High Life this morning, and that's about all I could get emotionally out of me today. So I would figure I wasn't ready for the light.
Yeah, it would have been too much to do both of those in one day.
Also, not an uplifting movie.
No, no. But Ryan and I talked about it offline, and maybe we can dive into it a little more once you watch it. But I thought the acting was, I mean, even though they both played crazy people, I thought the acting was really good, and I liked the black and white, and I liked the drama that the black and white brought, and how, you know, their accents reflected the time period it took place in. There was I thought there was a lot to like about it. The story was weird. It was out there, but I thought I had a beat on what it was about. Below the surface, and I was pretty close. And Ryan and I talked about it earlier today, but we'll see what you think, and we'll come back to it.
By the time we record next week, I'll have watched it.
It definitely helps, like, watching it and then being able to, like, talk it out with someone. It's not one of those movies, like, this is a terrible example, like, comparison, but, like, Extraction. So, like, Extraction, you watch it, you're like, all right, I know what's happening here. I'm gonna like. But this is, like, more of a thinking type of movie where it definitely helps, like, talking it out with someone after the movie, so. And then a lot of MasterChef. I'm obsessed with Gordon Ramsay, just like my wife. So this is my life now. I just can't say. He's such a good TV personality. Like, probably not since, like, Simon Cowell has someone been so good for reality TV. Just like a natural. And it's, like, not too over the top. Like, he's kind of a dick, but it's not too bad. It's understandable because he's like more of a dick to people he sees potential in instead of just, like, being mean. So yeah, MasterChef I would highly recommend. Those are my guys for now.
Very good. I've been. Sorry, that's all you've been watching.
And then, so I don't know if you want to do Tiger King now or wait. Yeah.
I haven't seen a lick of Tiger King. Nothing. I feel like I've heard enough about it though, where I've seen the whole thing. So you guys can go nuts.
Adam and I will go through our list, and then we'll circle back, Ryan, and we'll talk Tiger King at the end.
All right, perfect.
Watching Sopranos, and I finished Sopranos on, I don't know. I finished it right before we did our beer pong tournament last weekend.
Nice, classic. Can't go wrong there.
Finished it. I have an admission. I'll admit that I started in season 2. I didn't watch all season 1. I've seen season 1 so many times because so many times I've started watching it and then I've gone to something else. So I feel like I didn't need to touch season 1. I went right to season 2 and I watched it from season 2 all the way through 6B. And it's just it's an incredible show. That's why I'm wearing the shirt. But it's just a fucking incredible show. And I think season 6A and 6B are the best. I think the best seasons of The Sopranos. That's saying a lot because all the seasons are fucking tremendous. But anyway, so I watched that, and that's like the 500th time I've watched that. And then I was like, you know what? I was pretty exhausted with Netflix. I was like, I've seen a ton of shit on here. I'm sick of looking at the same shit over and over again. So I will try something new. And so I signed up for Apple TV Plus, and I've been watching The Morning Show. Well, originally I signed up for it to watch the Beastie Boys story, which is the documentary with Ad Rock and Mike D. And they do like a live, directed by Spike Jonze. They do a live like documentary show. So like this was in some theater in L.A. I think it was L.A. or maybe it was New York. And they did like a live like story about their come up in like MCA and all that, and basically up until present day. And it was fucking incredible. It's 2 hours, and it was worth. I have a free trial on Apple TV Plus, so I watched that, and I highly recommend that to anybody that likes documentaries. And I don't think you even really have to like the Beastie Boys. It's just such an interesting story. I mean, and I didn't realize any of this. I'm a big fan of Beastie Boys. I don't know anything about like their start. They started when rap was still like in its infancy, and they got their start with Russell Simmons and Run DMC. Their first tour was opening for Run DMC on when they were going on tour with them. It was fucking incredible when they were first the Beastie Boys, when they were first like traveling with the three of them, which is incredible. And so they're like, yeah. So it was a cool story. I highly recommend that. And The Morning Show is fucking awesome. Steve Carell is tremendous. Jennifer Aniston is tremendous. The whole thing is well done. Apple Apple really does a really good job with their shows, from what I've seen, and their documentaries. I've watched these two now, but really high quality show. Reminds me of something that like HBO would put out. Really,
High praise.
really good stuff. And then
Brian, are you into documentaries at all? I'm not sure.
I watch them once in a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I do highly recommend the Beastie Boys story. It's really fucking good, and it like flies by when they do. And it's like it's really loose. They do you would think that, so it looks like they had done this live stage show for like a week or whatever, and they were doing like different nights of it, and this was the final night. And you would think by the final night they would have everything worked out, and the whole fucking thing was a disaster. The audio video wasn't working, but it like felt very like natural and like felt like perfect for these two guys who totally just feel like down to earth people, regular people. So,
is it only on Apple TV Plus? Whatever. Yeah.
but like I said, it's a free trial right now. So, and I think you can get the Apple TV app on Roku, on maybe Fire Stick. I don't know, but you can get that app, and it's a free month trial, and that's why I did. No, otherwise, it's $5 a month. It's very cheap. And they have some good. They have some good stuff on it. They have a new show called Defending Jacob, which apparently was a book, and that has Chris Evans in it.
Yeah, Jim saw the trailer with Chris Evans, and then
Have you listened to that book, Adam?
he was interested. No, I have not listened to that book.
I'll defend Adam on the listening to books. I will always be an Adam corner on the listening to books.
It's the same thing.
You feel like an asshole when you say you've been listening to a book. So you just say you've been reading a book.
You read it, listen, whatever, same thing.
All right. God.
So actually, I finished season 4 of Ozark today. I love that show. I think it's awesome. I think it's for me. You guys can call me crazy, but I think it's like approaching Breaking Bad level.
No, I agree. It's
have you
so
seen
good.
season 4?
Yes.
I finished it today. I couldn't believe how awesome it was. Like my heart rate is up whenever I watch that, and everyone in that show is a wild card. You have no idea what's gonna happen. So that was great. I can't wait for season 5. I don't know if you guys know anything about Luther. It's a BBC show starring a one Idris Elba, and very handsome man. And,
Coronavirus survivor.
There's 5 seasons, but they come out like super random, and each season is like 2 to 4 episodes. That's it. And so the newest season came out in the fall, season 5, and that to me that was the best season yet. It was 4 episodes, and it was awesome. So I can't recommend that one enough. I think the first few seasons of that one are on Netflix, but for 4 and 5 you might have to go to Prime. But they're free on Prime, so they're all on Prime for free, or whatever you pay for the Prime. Something else I've been watching also on Prime is Tales from the Loop, and I've been trying to get Ryan on board to watch this one. Matt, I don't know if you've seen the trailers, but it's got like a Black Mirror. So it's like sort of like Black Mirror meets The Leftovers. So it's got the Leftovers vibe, but with a Black Mirror style episodes, but they connect. You know what I mean? They all connect, where Black Mirror is just sort of is very, very loosely connected, if not unconnected. So I've really been liking that one. I've been, some of it gets slow, but the score in that show is really good, and I really like how it's filmed, and the color palettes that they use, and Ryan, you'll be drooling over the piano sets that they do in the show, like the big orchestra musical numbers they do. And last but not least, Jen and I have been watching a lot of Fixer Upper. I don't know if you guys know that one with
That's the one married couple hosts it?
Yeah, Chip and Joanna Gaines down in Waco, Texas. First of all, it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts at like what they can do with their budgets. Like in Waco, Texas, $40,000 will get you so much stuff.
Submarine.
There's no way. It drives me crazy. And I'm really into. Both of us are really into like Joanna's style of how she designs those houses. So we get them. We try to get some ideas for our houses, but and then at the end of the day, it just makes me mad because I can't afford to do what she does to her houses. But maybe someday. But that's a good
I gotta
one.
read Chip's book. Forget the name of it, but I read it and it's fucking awesome. Fuck.
I'm sure Jen has it. Jen reads Joanna's books, so.
It came out. I think it came out last year, beginning of last year. I read it while I was on the road. It's really good. It talks about his business and flipping houses and all that. It's very, very interesting.
Oh, cool. I'll have to check that out. I wonder if I could listen to it.
Probably listen to it. I mean, oh, you could definitely
Sure,
listen to it.
sure.
And I bet that he
Available.
narrates it. And that's the best. You don't get that when you read a book. When you get the author reading the book to you, forget about it.
No, very rarely. You know what actually was really cool? I'll go off on a little tangent for a second. So I read a lot of Stephen King books. Listen to a lot of Stephen King books. And I did Misery recently, and that movie stars Kathy Bates. So I was like, fingers crossed that she narrates it. She doesn't, but the woman that does a Kathy Bates voice, which is really good. So that was cool. Not like the Waterboy one.
Mama?
Imagine being the world's best Kathy Bates impersonator. It's like, what do you do with that? There you go. You're doing Misery.
Dictate a
Dictate
book.
Yeah.
Adam, remember when we were listening to the Alien book, that spin-off, that like original Alien book that was...
Yeah.
So we listened, Ryan, there was this... Audible does these things called Audible Originals. And it's like a whole production. There's like sound effects and like multiple actors do voices, and it's like a whole... I mean, it's like a movie, but you're listening to it. They're incredible. And there was this Alien one. What was the name of it? What was the one we listened to?
Keep going, and I'll find
So
it.
anyway,
for
it
you.
was essentially a splice in section of a story that fit in with the rest of the Alien story. It was awesome, and it was really well produced.
Okay.
And so Audible Originals, they give you one a month that you can download for free, along with your one credit that you get, something like that.
Right, yeah, it was Alien Out of the Shadows. It's
I
called.
fucking highly recommend it. Talk about listening to books; it's so good.
I don't know if I could listen, because I can't even do a Kindle. I need to actually read, have the physical book.
One thing I will
To
say
read,
about
to
the
read.
listening to books is, and I have a bunch on my phone that I still want to get to. I just need to find time where I'm not doing anything else. With podcasts, for the most part, I can listen to that shit, and I can do anything. I can drive. I can fucking clean my house and listen to podcasts, and I absorb all of it because I don't have to be totally 100% listening to it a lot of the times. I can just get the high level stuff. With books, you can't really. You don't want to miss anything, so it's tough for me personally to do that. So I have to find time to do that, either in the car on the way to work or home, and I haven't been driving to work, so those have been kind of put in the back seat.
Matt, there's another one. I might have sent it to you. It's another Alien original story. It's called Alien: The Cold Forge. That is on Audible, and it's really good. So,
Couple of
I've
listeners.
slowed down with my Harry Potter listenings too. I'm somewhere in the fifth book, but
So mad,
I've been watching more stuff.
I read the first couple Harry Potter books, and this is gonna someone can crucify me out there. I don't like it as much as I like watching the movies. The movies are way more enjoyable for me. I don't know.
You know what? I gotta talk low here because Jen might hear me. I like the books and all, but I really appreciate the time crunch of the movies. They really cut out all the nonsense.
It just happens to be, if it was something else, if it was something else that I really wanted more information on that topic or that type of movie, I would read the books. But I don't feel like I need to dive in. I feel like they've given me everything in the movies that I need.
Kind of cover all their bases in the movies.
Adam, what else you been? Is that it? Fixer Upper?
Yeah, that's it. That's it for me. I'm sure there might be onesie twosies here and there, but those are my four that I've been watching.
All right, well, you can just see yourself out of this next conversation. Hello, cats and kittens.
I will.
Cats and kittens. It's Carol. So, Adam, no. So you can jump in at any time and ask us about any of this. But so we'll talk about the Tiger King quick, because I don't think we were able to really chat about it a lot. But one of the more perfect, in the right place at the right time documentaries. I mean, right at the beginning of all this shit show of us having to stay home, this documentary gets shadow dropped right on top of our heads of this thing that's happening right in our backyards across the country, and they just fucking drop it on our heads, and it was a phenomenon like nothing else.
Yeah, it's like 34 million unique viewers. It's unreal. And this was my friend Holly and I's friend Tom, that they went to college with at USC, just wanted us to chat about it and properly rate it, which, I mean, as far as like, because it's a documentary, so it's not like, you're rating it for like its writing or its directing or anything, but even that, like, it was put together very well.
Yeah, you're right, but its direction, like, as far as documentary goes, is second to none. I mean, it was super involved. They had so many cool angles. They had the guy that was doing the show, the reality show. You had his angle on everything.
Yep.
You had the people that worked there. You had Joe Exotic. You had his two husbands. You had what's Doc Antler.
Yeah, Doc Antler.
This guy is just living with like 6 wives.
Wives is a very loose
riding the
term,
his like girlfriends or whatever, buying them houses on these gigantic
slaves.
compounds. He rides an elephant down to the watering hole every morning. Just waves. Imagine if you rode an elephant by your neighbors over to Waterville Pond. What is it? Right, Waterville Pond. Is that where you are up there? Waterman Pond.
Waterman's Lake.
Yeah.
Waterman's Lake.
Yeah.
He was like, "Hey, what's going on, Phil?"
Hey, I was just riding the elephant again. And then you have Carol Baskins, who like might have murdered her husband and fed him to her lions so she could take his inheritance. And it's not a might have. I mean, she killed him.
There is 3 truths in this documentary. Number 1, Carol Baskins absolutely killed her husband. 100% killed her husband and fed him to the lions. 100%. Number 2, Joe Exotic definitely burned down his building with the TV studio in it and the alligators.
And the alligators.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And number 3, Jeff Lowe is not a real person. Jeff Lowe is a character from a movie. He was planted. That person doesn't exist. That's insane.
Because if that person exists...
Give me some details.
This guy is in the tiger trade. He's like this very eccentric guy. He wears bandanas and hats. He has...
Nice.
But like bandanas to like just about the eyebrow level. So
And then...
And a hat over. And a hat over.
And he has... he brings tigers to Las Vegas and puts them in these buses, these like party buses, and people like going in between casinos can like sit in the bus with these little tigers and like pet them and hold them and take pictures with them. And he's just like a playboy. He's just like all over the place, spending money that he does. He's definitely broke. He has no money.
he's in the
horrific debt. Horrific debt.
He's insane. Look up Jeff Lowe Tiger King, and then you'll see what we're talking about.
Because like it would make too much sense for someone like that to find that world. Like it's too good of a fit. Like the stars can't align like that. For Jeff Lowe to like somehow find his way in bumfuck Oklahoma or wherever the hell they were and like meet Joe Exotic and like try to save his tiger farm, and I just feel like fate couldn't work that perfectly. But maybe I don't know. So do you want to know my dad's reaction to all this?
I absolutely do.
He said he doesn't think it was that weird. I'm like, what? I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, what? Those people aren't that weird. I go, are you... What? So what part wasn't weird? Was it that the guy is a meth addict and runs a tiger farm? That he has these 2 like super young husbands who end up don't even being gay? That he's in a feud with this other woman who murdered her husband and fed him to the tigers? Which part of this isn't weird to you? Apparently none of it. He just didn't think it was that strange. I'm like, all right. I don't know. Yeah. So many twists and turns though. Adam, you gotta watch it. It's really very, very entertaining.
I'm sure I'll get there, but right now I feel like I'm past the point. Everybody's already seen it. You know what I mean?
It doesn't dull it.
eventually when you watch it, you'll jump in and it'll blow your mind. And you'll circle back
Yeah,
and you'll be like,
yeah.
I can't fucking believe this, that, whatever. It'll all still blow your mind. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
All right,
I
all
give
right.
it 2 thumbs up for that I mean, as far as documentaries go, it's one of the more enthralling ones. It reminds me of when I was very into, Making a Murderer, the other Netflix one.
Yes.
Making a Murder
yep.
was another phenomenon, and I think that Tiger King definitely benefited from the time that it came out, but I think it would have been a smash hit, even if it came out during normal times.
Especially
That's
with
another one I
Twitter
missed
and
out
everything.
Oh, you didn't see Making
Yeah.
a Murderer? That's a good
Oh
one.
my God.
I know nothing about it. Missed it.
What's wrong with you?
I watch a lot of stuff. I missed it. I'm not crazy into documentaries.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
Whatever.
No, I agree. Two thumbs way up for Tiger King.
But yeah, very, very good. I'm glad we got to talk about that. I'm glad I didn't slip through the cracks.
I am too. Yeah, I appreciate you letting me slip that in there.
Slip it in anytime.
I did find some movie entertainment news out there. So obviously, movie theaters across the country are still pretty much closed. I think Texas is planning to reopen this weekend, but I know most of the major ones, like the AMC theaters and the Alamo Draft Houses, they've said they're not going to reopen, which is kind of smart of them because I think it's still a little too early. But there's not.
What are they going to show?
That's what I don't understand. There's no new movies. Like, are you going to show the movies that were supposed to be out?
There's been 1 million new cases reported in the past 2 weeks, so
Maybe
it's growing. So
yeah, no need to open movie theaters. But some movie news outside of theater openings. The new Judd Apatow movie starring Pete Davidson, King of Staten Island, is going to be skipping the theatrical release altogether. So starting June 12th, it's going to be available on demand. And I don't know if you guys have seen anything about this movie, King of Staten Island. So it's basically just like a semi-autobiographical movie about Pete Davidson's life, which I know he's hit or miss with some people. Some people really like him, some people hate him, but he's led a pretty interesting life. I mean, he's still super young. I think he's only 23, but his father passed away. He was a firefighter in the Twin Towers on 9/11, and so they kind of document his upbringing going through that and then his entry into the world of stand-up comedy. And I think, having Judd Apatow on board, especially directing it, is going to be pretty cool. So I'm pretty excited for that to come on demand.
Yeah, that looks pretty cool.
he's a miss with me, but I might check it out.
I don't think I'd root for him just because of, I don't think he's had the easiest life. I don't necessarily think he's very funny. Like, he's never that funny on SNL. So, sometimes when he's on Weekend Update, when he plays himself, he's kind of funny, but a lot of people don't.
That's when I find him the funniest.
Ryan,
when
did
he plays
you see
himself.
him open up for John Mulaney? How was
Yeah, he was absolutely terrible.
Really?
Yeah, he was not a good stand-up comedian. He talks
So
like he
he's
talks
not
on
a
the
good stand-up
show.
comedian, and he's not funny on his show.
He's kind of funny. I don't know. I think John Mulaney must have I think it was kind of it seems to me it's like a rescue mission from Lorne. Just we're gonna give this kid a million tries. He must have some type of talent behind the scenes. When we saw him open up for John Mulaney, he doesn't have a good delivery, which is very important in stand-up comedy. So he'll talk and he's like, yeah, I was, walking down the street the other day, and I'm all right, come on, you gotta fine tune these things. I mean, maybe he's still kind of starting out, but then having Mulaney come on after him, it's like, this is probably how it should be. So, it is. Yeah. I'm glad he didn't go before. That would
be way worse. Yeah, too. But you can't be anywhere near John Mulaney when he's doing stand-up if you're trying to compete.
No, not now. He's just in his groove. But the cool thing about this movie, it's Universal Pictures bought the rights to it, and it's actually the second title by Universal that skipped theatrical release altogether during this pandemic. The first one was Trolls World Tour, which I know we've all seen and love. One of the best movies in the history of the medium of cinema. But so Trolls World Tour actually had the highest opening day and weekend ever for a digital film release.
It's cool. You want to know what that is?
So,
that's kids being home.
It is.
Yes.
And I think Universal's looking at that, and not that it's going to be across the board from now on, but I think they can pick and choose titles now that they can release digitally and still make a ton of money.
Think about this. So I was reading that earlier. Think about this, right? You're a parent. You have 2 kids. You have 1 kid, and you want to take them to go see a movie. I would be very hesitant to take any kids under 5 years old to a movie because they're not going to sit through the whole movie, wasting money, right? But you know what I mean. And then the whole process of going out, getting them in the car, going to the theater, getting the snacks, sitting down, and then getting up 20 minutes later when they're like done with it. Now you're home, you're going to, not even without question, you're going to spend that $12, $20, whatever it is to stream it, and then done. You lose a little revenue because you're not getting a ticket for each kid, but you're probably getting a premium because I imagine at some theaters, like those kids that young anyway are getting a discount. But, it's a no-brainer. Those types of movies that are targeted at kids should be coming out immediately to online streaming services at home. Immediately.
Hey, so have you guys seen like kids' movies in theaters as adults recently?
You count Sonic?
Oh, Lion King.
Did you count Sonic?
I don't know. Maybe.
I saw Sonic.
But
I saw Lion King too.
Was there a lot of kids in the theater?
No, because
Sonic.
Right. I'm talking about like there's a lot of kids in the theater.
Yeah.
When I went to the Lion King, there was.
Okay, so I might have told you guys this before, but I have a pretty funny like seeing a kids movie with a ton of kids in the theater story. So Jen and I went to see Lego Batman when it came out. I love Batman. See anything Batman. So I was pumped to go see it. And it was the theater, the AMC theater with the reclinable seats. They're really nice. You buy them online, you sit wherever you want.
We get
not super, but let's get the assigned seats, which I love. Like any theater that doesn't have assigned seats, go back to the Stone Ages. Give me my assigned seat. I want to know where I'm sitting. But anyway, so the theater was packed with kids, and it was like a war zone in there. The whole movie, kids were like all hopped up on sugar, screaming and yelling, hooping and hollering, running up and down the aisles. There was and the lights came on at the end of the movie. It looked like there was a war zone. There was popcorn and soda all over the place. Everything was sticky. I saw a whole slice of pizza upside down on the floor. It was madness in there. So, it would have to be a pretty special, movie geared towards kids that hit theaters to make me want to go to it. Otherwise, I'll wait till it comes out on the end.
I feel like bringing children anywhere just reminds me of that picture that Blake from The Office tweeted out. When remember he was really hungover and it's like, welcome to hell.
Yeah. Adam, you said that one all the time.
Bringing children anywhere, that must be what it feels like. Just welcome to hell. This is chaos everywhere. So I don't know if anyone saw this. Seth Rogen tweeted it out yesterday about his new movie, which I had no idea even existed. So no trailer or anything yet. He just tweeted a picture of himself in character, and it's called An American Pickle, and it's gonna premiere on HBO Max. So no, I haven't seen a release date yet for the movie. HBO Max officially launched on May 27th, but it's going to be a comedy, and this is the synopsis I got from Google, the Google machine. So Seth Rogen plays an immigrant laborer in 1920s America, struggling to make a better life for his family. While working at his factory job, he falls into a vat of pickles, is brined and preserved for 100 years, and emerges in present-day Brooklyn.
When I was reading the synopsis, I was like, oh, okay. And then as soon as it goes to, while working at his factory job, he falls into a vat of pickles, I was like, okay, it's a Seth Rogen movie. Okay. Well, I thought for a second he was going serious because, you know, a laborer in the 1920s can be a very serious movie about their family, whatever. And no, it's about him being pickled and left
Falling into a vat of pickles.
Oh,
So I forgot to add this to the Google Doc, but the continuance of the synopsis is he's in present day Brooklyn and he tries to find his remaining family, and the only remaining family member is his great grandson, who he also plays.
Oh.
He's also like, so this is gonna be like a very Seth Rogen movie.
yeah.
That sounds really funny.
Dude, what's the price
that's
on
interesting.
HBO Max?
I don't know. So if you have HBO or HBO Now, you automatically get HBO Max. So it'll just so you can just download HBO Max and you can log in with your other credentials. I don't know what. Yeah, even if you have I have HBO. I don't have an HBO subscription. I just have the app, like the HBO Go app. So you'll be able to get HBO Max. I'll see the price.
HBO couldn't have a more confusing streaming platform. Like, it couldn't be more confusing.
$15. $15.
You have HBO, you have HBO Go, you have HBO Now, you have HBO Max. The fuck?
I don't understand it.
Actually, so HBO Go, I think, is for people that have the television subscription.
Yes, you are correct.
And HBO Now is for people that don't have the television subscription.
So
It's the same thing. It's HBO,
the same thing.
But you don't get it. You don't get the network on TV. You can't watch it on your channels. You can just stream it like a normal person living in 2020.
Yeah, and if you have HBO Now, you automatically get upgraded to Max, which is kind of cool. I don't know how long that's going to last, but it'll be kind of cool.
So does the HBO Max going to also have all of, is it going to be backwards compatible and have, Sopranos, Oz?
I think it'll have because it's going to be like a Netflix hybrid too. It'll have Friends, it'll have they got the rights to a bunch of those type of shows too. So it won't just be HBO.
Are they doing the Friends reunion thing?
Yes.
Yeah. Are they doing the Sopranos?
Hey, I wonder gonna.
So that
so.
that got delayed because of the virus, but I think they're still filming it, or they're in post production. But
do you think HBO Max will get the Snyder Cut?
Listen, the Snyder Cut. I think we already talked about this, but what a fucking missed opportunity for any of these new streaming services not to fucking jump and fucking pay whatever it costs to fucking get that.
I know.
They're idiots.
anything that any group of people are clamoring for, now's the time to do it. Because the second we're let back outside, it's there's gonna be hell to pay. Mm-hmm. I don't know what.
We'll never get the Snyder Cut. I'm gonna tell you right now. It's because after that day where they had the big day where everybody was literally everybody was fucking talking about it online. It had millions and millions of impressions. Fucking Warner Brothers didn't even blink a fucking eye.
Yeah.
Fucking eye.
Well, you know what? How long between I still keep my fingers crossed because how long in between that leaked Deadpool footage and the Deadpool movie announcement was there? It was years. I mean, it has been years for the Snyder Cut too, but still, it was honestly 4 or 5 years between that leaked footage and them going into production. I'm pretty sure.
I would love to know, and maybe it's out there and I just haven't seen it. I would love to know the story behind the Deadpool leak footage because we know it's Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
We know it's him, but I would love to know the story behind him.
Wait
doing
so
it.
long.
It's I think at this point he has $2 billion movies under his belt with that franchise. I think that at this point he could probably say, "Yeah, it was me," and not get really angry. Anyway, American Pickle. I love Seth Rogen, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, especially if you already have HBO. If you're just getting HBO Max anyway, it's it's one of those harmless. Give it a try. Maybe maybe I'll have some funny parts. Something that does not interest me at all, but I'm sure you guys are happy about it. The complete Skywalker saga, is that a part of the movie?
The Skywalker saga.
Saga, okay. Including Rise of the Skywalker, will be available to stream on Disney Plus on May 4th. I'm assuming to celebrate May the 4th be with you.
Rise of the Skywalker.
Hey, they got me though. I'm like, oh my goodness, Rise of the Skywalker,
The whole saga.
the whole saga. So that's cool if you like those movies. And then this Thursday, for any Parks and Recs fans, they're doing a Parks and Rec like scripted reunion special, which I'm very excited about because it's going to be like an actual episode.
Can't wait to see that. That's like our show. That's like Jen and that's our like. No, we don't really feel like watching anything. I mean, there's nothing in particular we want to watch. Let's put on Parks and Rec any episode because it's going to be good, whichever one we put on.
Very true. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. And then I guess the Michael Schur, who's like one of the creators, he said there's going to be a lot of, not a lot, but like some special guests too, like surprise, besides just like the main cast. So
awesome.
That should be pretty cool. Hopefully little Sebastian is reincarnated. I will, yes. So, High Life is the movie. This movie was directed by Claire Denis, and it was also written by Claire Denis, co-written by Jean-Paul Fargeau, and the synopsis. Claire Denis. Well, maybe I need a what's it called? One of those little accent markers over the I. So the synopsis of High Life: a father and his daughter struggle to survive in deep space where they live in isolation. Rotten Tomatoes, 82% critic score with 223 reviews and 41% audience score. So we watched this on, I believe, did we all watch it on Amazon Prime?
Yes.
So Amazon Prime comes with the Prime subscription for anyone interested. But Matt, you want to
start off?
I'll start off. It was wild. It was wild. It just, I don't know. It didn't get me. It wasn't what I was looking for, I think, in what I thought it was. It is very weird. It's very weird. I had to put subtitles on. Everybody talks super low. I couldn't understand anything that people were saying. But that could also be a choice. It was also very, like, it's a solid, it's a lot of, the theme is solitude. And so, like, everything is very quiet and whatnot. I don't know where to start with it. I mean, this guy has a stroke, and then he asks for a blowjob right after. I mean, I had to go back and put that's when I put subtitles on to see if I heard that correctly. The man has a stroke, and then he asks the nurse, the doctor, whatever the fuck, well, I guess is his love interest, right? I guess.
Seems like most of them, she's their love interests. But now these are all prisoners, right?
Right.
Right, it's sent to do like they were sent to do like menial tasks on this fucking ship headed for a black hole.
Yep.
So the way I understood it was everybody that was on that ship was there voluntarily. It was either that or like stay in prison for life or, die, and it could be anything from, murder to drug abuse. That they stick you on the ship and they do whatever type of scientific tests that they want. And in this case, they were like trying to, have children up in space, but without having sex, because they reserved all of their sexual impulses for that room in the basement of the ship. That scene Jen came down, sat down on the couch, and that scene came on, and then she got up and went in the office because that was it. That was all she got. That was all she could take.
So it was a Sibian, right? Is that what those things are called?
Oh, I don't know.
That just...
Why don't you tell us?
Well, because you guys know from you ever seen Private Parts with Howard Stern?
Yeah.
Howard Stern famously has a Sibian in his. Well, I don't think anymore, but he used to have like fucking strippers come in and ride the Sibian in his fucking.
Yeah. It seems like each character was having like a quiet contest of who could have a worse life. Like the poor woman that her head got exploded when she was driving into the black hole. She was raped before that, or almost raped. Yeah, then had her kid with Robert Pattinson's sperm.
Which the nurse smuggled out of Robert Pattinson in her vagina. And then
After she raised was asleep. He was
right,
asleep.
and squatted it into a test tube.
A turkey baster.
And then so then she murdered the other woman to steal her spot in this space car, and then her head exploded.
Yeah.
That's a hell of an effect, though. That was great. I like that. The
yeah.
campy slasher movie lover in me loved that scene, like of her, the black hole just popping her like a balloon.
Before I saw a single second of this movie, like I was a movie that I wanted to like, cause like space movie, I'm in. Like saw the trailer looked interesting, and I wanted to like it so bad, but it just same thing with you, Matt. Just didn't something didn't click. I didn't think it was terrible, but like
It was just so sad.
It was very sad.
Yeah.
Adam, to go back what you were just saying, it had all the makings of something that we would like. It has Batman. It has, it has Robert Pattinson, which I do enjoy as an actor. And it's a fucking people on the outside shots of the ship. It's just like a cube, essentially. They did a really good job of however they did those practical effects. It reminded me of watching Alien. It really did.
Yeah.
Like the exterior shots of the ship turning and moving and it reminded me of Alien. They did a really good job with that. The interior set decoration is fantastic. It really reminds me of like a fucking this is a tool that's being sent out to get samples from a black hole, maybe, or it's going to be sucked in, and all these fucking prisoners run the place. And this is
Right.
And the lighting in the inside the ship really set each scene.
Totally. So yeah, like there was some good out of it, but like the story it lost me. I was very confused. Going back to the sex room, that lady, she was riding the thing, and then all of a sudden it was like a dog, or like something like some kind of furry animal with a tail. Did you miss this?
No, I thought it was
that was right at the beginning, right?
No, well, no. I remember seeing like fur in there, but I didn't know what it was.
I think she was imagining having sex with like a fucking animal.
A bull?
I don't know. Go back.
Or like a
I'm
centaur.
not going back.
You gotta just that one scene. Look at the tail. The tail's like whipping around. It's fucking weird, man. It reminded me of like one of the practical dog, like when the dog is like being misshapen in the thing. Fucking one of those like practical effect things. It was like not digital. It was just fucking. I'm telling you, just go back and watch it. That was fucking weird. And then I was eating lasagna at the time. This is like 9:30 in the morning. I'm eating leftover lasagna, and that sex room it drains out fucking. It's just disgusting. It looked like milk was dripping out of it, and then it has like that giant fucking car wash thing comes down and just fucking washes the seat. Oh god! I finished the lasagna.
Seems like these scientists put a lot of money into that room.
They did, and it's right next to. This is a fucking. I think this is like it's symbolism. It's right near the wastewater fucking treatment machine in the fucking sex room right there. It's like a fucking. I don't know.
So one thing I was interested in. So at the beginning, I was confused at first at the timeline jumping back and forth, but like as it got closer to the movie and to the end, and I like started like piecing together where everything we saw was, like I started to I thought that made it more interesting, the jumping back and forth, and then towards the end, he's with his I'm assuming teenage daughter now. She's grown up. They did he did a log in the computer. And he gave how many days they were on the ship. They said, X amount of days on the ship, X amount of days on Earth. And I rewinded and wrote the numbers down and did the math. And so Robert Pattinson has been on that ship for 18 years. And it translates to over 200 Earth years.
That's fucking bananas. I love that shit. That's the interstellar shit right there. That's fucking cool.
Right.
I don't necessarily like that, but I thought that's interesting. I like when they do that. I mean, not that it didn't really play off. Really, I mean, they didn't really talk to anybody at home like back.
No. So did Andre 3000 just like disintegrate into the dirt?
I think that was just a
I don't
passing
know.
of time. Like he died there, and then that's where he was also buried because he liked to sleep in the dirt or whatever.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Ryan, what did you, to sort of wrap this up? What did you get out of the ending?
I took it as almost like a suicide mission type of thing. I think which you telling me how the time broke down makes me think about it even more, because it seems like they hadn't seen anyone else. Once everyone died on the ship, they hadn't made contact with any other ships. And then finally they see that other ship and it's just full of like starving dogs and dead dogs. And I think that might have been kind of like the last straw where they're like, you know what? Well, let's just go to the black hole. Maybe we make it through and we're, heroes or whatever it is. But, worst case scenario, at least we don't have to be on the ship any longer.
Right. He's been on that ship for 18 years and hasn't seen another person. And
Yeah.
I can't, and it was just those two for an amount of years in the teens, because everyone was dying, right after she was born. And they're in the middle of space, and he knows the score, so, they come across another ship is an absolute miracle, and the fact that there was no other human beings on it is, right what you said, Ryan, all right, well, let's give it a shot, and if we make it, we make it. If not, we die together.
Right. So, and I feel like if Earth couldn't figure out in 200 years how to send another ship to save them, then maybe it's best you just go.
Mm.
Maybe they don't want to save you at that point.
Yeah, I don't think
technology was probably pretty advanced in 200 years. They could have just drove a car up there by that point.
Do you guys want to know my favorite line besides the guy asking to get his dick sucked?
Please.
What?
What do we want to call her? The doctor, the nurse, the lady who was heading up the fucking sperm collections.
Call her the doctor.
I could say doctor, yeah.
She tells Robert Pattinson, and I quote, talking about his baby, "She is strong made, like her big booty mother," is the line.
So they call that character Big Booty a couple times, which is funny because she doesn't strike me as a big booty woman.
No,
but
it's Shia LaBeouf's wife you're talking about.
Mia
Or
Goth?
ex-wife, wife, something like that.
That's a good quote. You're a big booty.
That was one of the. I had to stop. I had to rewind, and I had to watch it again to make sure what she said was actually what she said, and that is what she said. Oh man, what a fucking movie. Anyway, so let's do the thumbs, because we didn't do thumbs last time. Ryan, you know about the thumbs? We got thumbs up, you got thumbs down, you got thumbs medium, rare, and then in between.
Okay.
All right, so thumbs up. Well, thumbs to the side, and we'll give it a 3, 2, 1. Middle? Okay, Ryan's what do we say? It's half down, medium rare.
It's much closer to medium rare than medium.
I love we just talking. It doesn't mean anything.
No.
We're going by meat colors.
I'm medium rare.
Okay, you're medium rare. So medium well is half up. But we're facing half
Right,
up.
and medium rare.
This is
So it's rare, medium
This
rare,
is
medium.
southeast.
Medium well.
Southeast is what we're doing.
Yeah.
That's so silly. Yeah, I think that's appropriate. Well, I think that's it. You guys have anything else you want to add about this movie or about the podcast or anything?
I mean, if anybody had any suggestions for next week.
Yeah. I hate the podcast. Just want to get that out there.
I hate doing this every week. It sucks.
I'm down for anything. I meant to look and then I forgot. Just something.
You know what? Let me look at my Apple TV. I save a bunch of movies that I want to watch. This is great. It's great radio right here.
Hope everyone's watching Matt type intently.
Let's see. What do I got for up next? I don't know.
Want to just decide something offline and review it?
All right, let's decide something offline and we'll put it on Twitter. So go to twitter.com/average nobodies and we'll put it up there. And what we're gonna.
Well, no, that's not fun for Ryan. I was gonna say, Matt, if you haven't seen Extraction, I haven't seen Extraction either. Actually, you know what? Here's what we'll do. Because why don't we do? Because Ryan has seen. No, it's not fun for Ryan either. Because he's seen Extraction and Lighthouse. Damn.
Yeah, I don't care though. I can talk about both of them.
I'll watch Lighthouse and Extraction. We can talk about both of them next week.
Yeah,
All right,
do a
let's plan for
double
that,
feature, matinee, and I'll watch it again.
Perfect. Yeah, you should. Get out. You need to get all that. You need to get all the lines ready to go.
Exactly.
All right, that's the Average Nobody podcast for this week. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. You can find us on Apple Podcasts. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Stitcher Radio. You can find us on our website, AverageNobodies.com. You can find us on our YouTube channel, which this is, hopefully, if this all worked out correctly, it's going to be a video episode. So it's going to be on our YouTube. So if you're listening to this, you can see us fumble around with our thumbs rating that movie. So go to youtube.com/TheAverageNobodies to check that out. And until next week, that's the podcast.